Was born in the hole, muddy my clothes, climbing out to see a new world, and all these things I'm finding out that they kept from me, even things they lied about. Killer cost my girl concerned of my whereabouts. Unknown, off somewhere lost in the zone. 30 years still praying, I don't catch two to the dome. Where I'm from, if you black, then you in it for life. I'm trying to reach it.
Team AC, I'm Amanda Coco, and we're here for another AC interview. Yeah. We got Big Fella and Metro Cartel, and we're just gonna talk about his new music, their movement, what they got going on. We're just gonna have a dialogue, you know how we do. And let's start. So we're gonna start with Big Fella. So tell us where you're from. Just tell us where you're from. Where are you from? Are you from let me get my words together. So is it DMV? Can I say you from the DMV? I'm not trying to offend you, so I'm like, should I say you from the DMV or should I say you from DC? Man, like I don't know how it goes because it's like different.
I'm not that deep into it. I'm from DC. Reside at LVA with my folks. But most part, the whole group from DC.
Okay, DC.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I say y'all from the DMV, or is that that's good?
Cool.
Is that cool? Is that cool with you?
That's funny because somebody else asked us the same things. Like, do y'all consider yourselves DMV or DC? And I'm like, I mean,
nah, cause y'all, I think DC people. I don't want, you know what, I love DC people. I ain't even gonna, cause I can't Joan, I'm sensitive. I love y'all from DC, but y'all take that Joan serious. I'm not from Maryland. I'm not from Virginia. I'm from DC. And they just be right across you be right across the street. You be on that bridge. Welcome to Virginia. No, welcome to Maryland. No, welcome to DC in like 3 minutes. So.
And I think like the DMV term, like it's so big now, so you can't even really deny it now.
Right.
It's like, all right, they want to say you from DMV. I mean, you kind of are now because nationally, like everybody from other places know this area is the DMV now, not just the DC area anymore.
Right.
So
it's so crazy.
It's a rebranding of the area.
Right.
The area. That's what it was called.
Right, but DC has such a different culture, and Maryland has a different culture.
Right.
But Baltimore got a whole different culture. But we just gonna talk about DC. DC has a whole different culture. And it's really rich. Like y'all have a really rich culture. What high school did y'all go to? Like how was it coming up? We'll start. It don't matter who want to go first.
So I grew up in Northeast. I graduated from Luke Seymour High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a good high school? Was it the best high school?
Definitely not the best. Anybody from DC that know Luke Seymour, aka Street Academy.
Street Academy.
Definitely not the best school in the area.
But you came from it though. You graduated.
Yeah, graduated.
That's what's up.
Graduated. Grew up in Northeast my whole life. And luckily, the C College, graduated from there. So,
really? What college you go to?
That's where we met. We met at Johnson C. Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, Carolina team. Yeah. You know us 10. That's an HBCU too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you know we lit.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So yeah, that's basically my background. Northeast born and raised, man.
That's what's up. How about you?
Grew up Southeast, moved to LVA with my mom when I was younger. Alexandria, I graduated from T.C. Williams.
Okay, was that the best school or not?
That was the only school in Alexandria, high school.
Really?
That's the only high school in Alexandria.
So I know somebody from Alexandria know that school then. Yeah. I went to Rose.
That's Remember the Titans, the movie. That's the school.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that school was out in North Carolina. Dang. You know I be trying to get North Carolina in there. So
you got some history in the area.
Right.
Yeah, that's how, matter of fact, our group started at Johnson C. Smith.
Really?
Cartel, yeah.
You know, it's so funny that y'all talk about y'all went to a HBCU. What made y'all go to what made y'all go to a HBCU or just go to college, period?
I actually wanted to go for sports, but it didn't turn out that way. But I just know I wanted to go somewhere in North Carolina. I didn't want to go too far from home.
Right.
But I have family in North Carolina as well, in Raleigh, Rocky Mount, and Greensboro.
Okay, that's close. That's close.
And me, my girlfriend at the time, her mother actually pushed me towards college. I wasn't even planning on going to college.
Shouts out.
I was like, man, I'm just going to get this high school diploma, man. Give me this good old job. I ain't paying no bills right now. I'm about to be caked up living at grandma's house.
Yeah, I feel
so that was my plan. But yeah, she had a contact at Johnson C. Smith. I went down there to visit the school, and the dude was just like, if she vouching for you, you win, and it was just essentially like that. So if any college people out here, like college board that like governing colleges, don't think I just got into college for free. I did get into college for free. I want to go and attack my school. I still went, man.
It don't even matter how you get in there though. You got in there because I kind of got into I didn't finish school. I went to Elizabeth City State University, and I kind of got in there on some like because I didn't have I had dropped it. I got an adult high school diploma. Like I was like you. I was like, shit, I'm gonna get these jobs. I ain't about to do it, but I played tennis. So the guy was like, so my coach was like, I can get you in Elizabeth City State or whatever. It ain't end up happening when I got there like that. Right. But that's how I got in too. But it's still important to have people like that around you, and it's a blessing to have those kind of people around you. I think that's really important that you have people that feed into you and see something. Her mom probably saw something in you. Yeah, it was like, boy, you need to get out of DC for a little while.
So you killed or be killed.
Right. Right, we're doing an HBCU initiative where we're gonna try to boost attendance for HBCUs. Okay. And I want to do like a tour for homecoming because HBCU homecomings be super lit, and it's just a good environment that I don't think people get to showcase. Right. And so tell me, what was your favorite thing about going to a HBCU?
For me, I say the people, because my high school was more diverse. So I kind of like got from diverse to predominantly black, on HBCU. And I think I like that better because you don't feel out of place sometimes. Yeah. And you kind of feel home, but it has its ups and downs. Yeah,
it does. Because when I was there, because I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, and it's a mixture of black and white. And when you go to HBCU, it's mostly black. Right. And you kind of get tired of seeing black people all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love black people. Y'all know home team all day, but you kind of get tired of it. But what would be one of the best things you think about going to HBCU?
So it was that I definitely know what you feel is like these black people, but at the same time it was actually good to be around black people of intelligence at the same time. It's like, and they're from different places, especially like me. Growing up, my family didn't have money to travel, so really by me going to North Carolina, that was like really the furthest I've ever been away from home for the longest amount of time. And then I got a chance to meet people from all over the country. Yeah. You got the chance to,
and they look like you, so you like, hey, you over there? I didn't even know people come from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you like, oh, for real, it's like that where you from? And they like, oh, for real, it's like that in DC. I thought DC was just like the monuments. Like I ain't know y'all get down like that. What's go-go music? And you hear about things that they do in their time. So definitely like, and that's what I really enjoy now about being out of school. Like those same people. When I go to that city, I can like call them up, be like, "Hey, dog, I'm in town. What we doing?" And it's just they show me around their city, and it's like that. I stayed out in California for a couple years and hooked up with a couple people from school, and that actually helped me like settle in because I knew people there already. So that's definitely the blessing about going. I say
the
just
camaraderie,
college, and the networking, man.
Yeah, college is a great space to network. I didn't finish college, but the friends I got from college, the connections I got from the people that I know, it's so much value in just the experience. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's experience. So y'all definitely be on the lookout.
Go to school, man. Just for
definitely go to an HBCU. We need more attendance at them HBCUs. Definitely.
Support your peoples.
Support your peoples, and definitely be on the lookout for our HBCU tour. Now let's get back to this music. So I was listening to your album, Quiet as Kept. And first of all, I think that you snap. Like when I say you snap, that means like you know what I mean. You snap, like you really be spitting. Thank you. I got so many different vibes. Like, and it's not, and not kind of like, not, I got so many different vibes. Like, it's one song that gave me, and Dynasty is one of my favorite Jay-Z albums, and I got that Dynasty vibe on one of the songs. I don't think it's Martin Luther King Dreams or Martin Dreams. That's crazy. It might be that. Yeah, but it might be that song. But I got that vibe, and then I got the Kendrick Lamar vibe, but I got it plainer. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of, I didn't feel like it was a lot of metaphors, but I felt like it was clear and concise. That's the kind of type of rap that I like, the clear and concise. The other stuff is good, but I like when it's clear and concise and the rapper is really getting his point across, and I felt like he was really telling your truth. I want to talk about, let's start off with you coming up. You say in the music that your mom is like a Jehovah's Witness, and how is that? And then you have Louis Farrakhan on there, and it seems like you're meshing a lot of the different religions around. So how does that play a part in, like, how does your spirituality play a part into your music?
Well, I try to touch on everything because I'm not religious at all. I'm more spiritual than anything, like universe, stuff like that, chakras and all that. But I try to touch on so much stuff because a lot of our people don't know that. That's why it's titled Quiet as Kept. Right. And then I'm an introvert, so that's my personality. So I kind of combine the enlightenment with my personality. So that's why you get Quiet as Kept. So I touch on like stuff like Martin Luther Dreams. The point of that song was, this is what we're lacking. This is what they're taking from us. You know, this is what's going on in plain sight. And like, how can we fix this?
Right.
And, you know, that's why I'm saying in the hook, I'm kind of like overdosing. I'm like self-medicating, drinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny that you say that because this is what we had a discussion about. So in one of your verses, and you were saying how you was talking about a woman. And you was like, it doesn't matter. She could be black, Asian, Caucasian. She could still be my Coretta Scott King. Yeah. And I went upstairs and I was like, yeah. He said, and I used to think this, but they enlightened me. Like, I'm the type that I'm malleable. So if I feel like it makes sense, then I'll change my whole opinion. I'm the type to say sorry. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not stuck into my thinking right now because that could change as we talk. You know,
that's how my dad is.
Right, it could change how you talk. I mean, when you talk to other people, you know what I'm saying? So, when I went to my mom, well, we're at my sister's house. Y'all know I love my sister, and my mom, Pam, and my sister, and me, and I went and we had a conversation, and I said, yeah, how can he sound like, I'm like, y'all, I think he contradicting himself, because I'm like, he put up like agenda, but he said that he could have any kind of woman, and it don't have to be a black or white woman. And then they were like, well, tell me what you think about that, because they really did change my whole, because they were like, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, you can still be for Black Lives Matter and still have it doesn't matter what kind of spouse you have, your skin tone doesn't really matter when it comes to, I don't know, you tell me, because I'm not good at relaying what other people say.
Okay, for that line there was for the concept of Martin Luther King himself, for us like not being segregated, coming together black, white.
Right.
So that's why I made that statement. Personally, I have other preferences, my own preferences, but that statement was just for the broad picture.
What you mean you got your other preferences? What's that mean? Does that mean you just like black women?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you better go over there. You gotta say that. You gotta say
that. I don't want to offend nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, don't worry about that. You got
But at the same time, you can't really help who you love.
That's what my mom said. That's what my mom said.
That's the message, because you have homosexuals, you have transgenders now.
Right.
That's becoming a big thing.
Right.
And I want people to hear my music and accept it. Like, he can have a girlfriend that's white. I don't want her to come here and feel like she's out of place because she's white. Or Caucasian, because I don't like using color.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Right. And my argument was that I was like, well, they can't relate. And Pam said, well, if a homeless person, you see a homeless person, can you not relate because you have never been homeless? No, you can see what's going on and still feel for them and empathize with them. So I was like, man, I think that's what he was trying to say in his music, and it really sparked a dialogue amongst us. So that's dope that you do that with your music, and it's so thank you for that, because I was thinking one way. I was like, Dr. Umar Johnson said, and they was like, no, and my mom was like, you can't help who you love, and you can't say that a white person is not going to be able to see what black people are going through. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, you right. Like, they
quiet as kept. Some of them going through the same thing we going through.
Yeah.
It's just not broadcast.
Yeah. Right.
So,
or they just don't know it. They think their struggle is different because of our skin color. And I feel like that's like really one of the biggest barriers. Because of the skin color, they don't think we have the same problems.
Right.
And that's not the coming another topic, but the whole Occupy movement.
Right.
Like, that was probably one of the most diverse movements we had in a long time, where you saw black and white people banding together for a purpose. And I'm mad like their movement died down in the wake of all this other craziness, because their movement was real important, because it was really about the fight for us little people, like all little people.
Right.
So that's something we need. Occupy, man.
Anybody
from Occupy, man, hit us up, man.
For
we
real.
want to come out and support, man. Cartel want to come out and support the Occupy movement.
I remember that job, man. I remember I was on Twitter heavy when Occupy was coming on. That's when everybody went and just started living on Wall Street.
Right. Even in DC, they were occupying parks in DC, and police trying to get them to move.
We got to bring Occupy back. That's what we need. Is Occupy back, because everybody was on it. Like that's what's up. I'm so glad you thought of that. For real. I'm so glad you thought about that. And I also like, when I listened to it, I like how you talked about women. I really like the joint with Lady Karma on it. I like how she was rapping. I like how she was rapping, and she was kind of like in her bag, like the way you.
I gotta tell you how. I'm sorry, cause
go.
How she came up with the verse. So my concept for my whole project was to have spoken word. I never had this before. Spoken word in the intro, spoken word in the outro. So Lady Karma was supposed to do the intro, and I had another young lady supposed to do the outro. But that didn't fall through. So I told her I don't want her to rap. She's nice rapping.
Right.
Like she writes poetry. So I sent her the album cover and said, I want you to just look at the cover and then make your verse. Like, write a poem about it. And that's what she came up with.
Like, I was just it was refreshing. Cause first of all, don't get it twisted. I love ratchet music. I love country music. I love all kinds of music. You know, all kinds of rap. Cause rap is turning into genres. Like, it's different genres, types of rap. I love it all. And it was so refreshing to hear a queen talk like that. Like you could tell she was all the way in her bag, when the stuff that she was saying was just so like, I don't know. It was genuine and real, and it was plain. You know what I'm saying?
Like she was talking to you.
Right, and it was plain. And the whole thing is, you don't get that now. Like, you don't get that plain, black and white, this is what it is. I love myself. I'm beautiful. I'm a queen. You're going to treat me as such. Yeah. And that's what it's going to be. You don't get that from rap. You don't really, it's kind of dying out. Back in the day, you was going to get that. Like, you was going to get that plain, I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. I'm calling your name. I'm calling your name. Yeah, we ain't gonna speak. We ain't gonna fake the funk. Now it's like I'm subbing and I'm gonna say this in the rap, and you gonna have to figure out who I'm talking about. Yeah. Nah, I like your plain black and white. Let me know what you're talking about. Yes.
But that's funny because she was talking about so much stuff in that one verse. Before stuff like happened, like I don't know if you heard what she said about the girls, the missing girls. That happened. That she made that before that started happening in DC and this area. Like, so the stuff she touched on, like, just started happening. Period. It has been going on.
Right, and that's how you know she was paying attention. Mm-hmm. That's how you know when you're paying attention. What are y'all musical influences? Like, what are y'all listening to right now?
Oh man.
I got like 2 different lanes. I listen to like my top 3. Cole, Crit, Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. Underground, it'll be like Starlito.
Mm-hmm. I just put him on my Music Monday playlist.
Freddie Gibbs, and I don't know if you're familiar with Spody from Atlanta. He used to be with Hustle Gang.
I think I've heard of him, but I haven't.
He sound like Young Dro, but go harder.
I don't think I can pinpoint some of his music, but definitely Starlito. Definitely, you know, I'm not heavy on Freddie Gibbs. I might have to get him. You gotta send me some stuff. Send me some stuff so I can get him. You gotta put me on.
Nice, man. Like, he got locked up in Australia for I think about a year.
Really?
Not Australia, Europe. One of them.
Yeah,
because he was with Jesus.
He was locked up abroad. Yeah, he used to be under Jesus.
They had charged him for a rape charge. He wasn't even
sexual
there.
assault, something like that.
Yeah, it was from like an entourage in the party, just because it was his entourage. I guess police said they heard his name and they locked him up.
Well, we ain't even gonna talk about that because we don't know nothing about what Freddie Gibbs got going. But we listening to your music.
His
Big
project
fucking with you.
Yeah, his project is about that.
Okay.
Project.
That's what's up.
Me, I mean, influences definitely the greats: Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Scarface, UGK. A lot of West Coast influences growing up. My brothers was real heavy on down south music and West Coast music. When me and him first hooked up, I used to play him everything that my brothers brought me up on. He's like, man, I never even heard of some of these people. So that was cool. So we it was like an exchange of music. But on a given day, I don't know. Most of the time, it's probably like something old, unless somebody.
Oh, like what?
Like 90s rap.
Yeah, well, you gotta let them know because people not on it. Like people,
I mean, like shoot. This morning I was listening to MC8. That's some West Coast rapper.
MC8.
Yeah, MC8. We come strapped. We talking about just like pure 90s gangster
so you
rap.
Like a
I'm about to run in your house and shoot your mother type rap music. But that's not the type of music I make. But I enjoy that music because it's what I grew up on. And that time, like that's what it was like back then. At least for the West Coast and kind of like a lot of places around America. But on any given day, like if something come across my ears and I like it, I listen to it. This was funny though. My boy I was just telling him before we came over here. My boy was hanging out with his son. His son, 12 years old, and his son was playing music on his PlayStation. Yeah. And a song came on. He was like, "Son, who was that?" And it's like this new young rapper called Aha Gazelle. So yeah,
he's like, who?
Aha Gazelle. So I've been checking his music out like the past couple of days. Just been checking out. And he cool. Yeah, he a positive rapper. He don't curse. I think he got like church background because he make a lot of biblical references.
Yeah.
But, so for everybody who got kids under 13, Aha Gazelle is a good rapper for your kids to listen to. He don't curse none of that stuff. So.
Man, it's so funny that you're talking about kids because it's like we were raised on hip hop, so now we raising our kids are listening like back before us. They were listening to the OJs and stuff, but now we got like I think Ninth Wonder put my child is the second hip hop generation, so I'm raising my child on hip hop music, hip hop culture, so it's really turning into like a I don't know, like a growth and it's just beautiful what the culture is doing. It's so many elements.
It's good to see hip hop grow up.
Basically,
Because like if you think about, I mean, even like from the beginning, like Grandmaster Flash and all them, but not even just them. Like those were our pioneers. But, like, the people from like the late '80s. Middle 90s, like just to see them get older in hip hop, and and some of them still like, dropping albums.
And it's good that they haven't fell off though, because we're growing up and we're growing right with them, so we can't really relate to what the young like I can relate
like
because
I you don't really want to hear past that.
You're not on it. You're not on that. You want to hear about 4440, I mean 444 or 444. I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. And just Fab. Like I'm on. I'm trying to start back listening like slow music now, but I'm so into like motivational stuff that gets you up and going. I'm on Fab. I'm on Nip. I'm on Ho. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so into this whole movement of entrepreneurship on your own stuff, and it's such a big deal to me. And you really express that, and I can tell that's what y'all on. Y'all have the Metro Cartel. .org website. Make sure y'all go to their website.
TheMetroCartel.org. Check us out.
Right. So how did Metro Cartel come about?
Like we said, from school, John C. Smith down in Charlotte. It was kind of like everybody had their own. Yeah.
It's fake.
Everybody had their own kind of cliques. Like you had the Down South Coalition. That was like everybody from the South
Shout out
Carolina.
to DSC.
Yeah, I had everybody from Carolinas, Atlanta, on down.
Yeah.
Then you had the up north, Jersey, the tri-state, Jersey, Philly, New York. And then it was like we was just out in the cold. It was like, you know,
we gotta make something go down. That's what's up.
Right. And it was he's like the brainchild behind all of us getting together. So it was like one night before a gym party. Yeah. Everybody was outside turning up, you know, pregame before the gym party.
I know about it.
So I don't know who started the freestyle cipher, but you know, everybody had the right amount of, you know, potion in them.
Right.
So everybody got up there and, you know, he did his thing. A few other people from our area did their thing. I spit a little something, and then like that next
week, I was like, "Hey, look, man,
we gotta do this."
Yeah. I got everybody together. Like, look, man, because I had the software, so I was editing. I didn't know how to edit.
Yeah.
But I just noticed what I wanted to do. But I didn't like people from New York, from the West Coast. Is it Feezy?
Yeah, Feezy.
We had a lot of artists like down there. And there was cats from like Texas. Shout out to Texas. He's still doing this thing. He's sending us beats, and we just took it from there.
Everybody just brought in something specific that could add to the movement. So having the right people around you is so important, and it's key, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. Y'all know I always say that. Teamwork makes the dream work, and building a team is very important.
Sorry to cut you off. You have to believe in your team.
Right. But there's also times where the people in the team, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Mm-hmm. So when there is a weakest link, how do you guys address it? Like, how do y'all handle it? Or when somebody's not handling their part in the group.
And I think that's one thing. Yeah, tell you fucking up. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing.
You gotta be honest.
Everybody brings something to the table. Like it's been brought up like a few times. Like who does this, who does that, and we kind of all know our role automatically. Like I can say I'm more the tech savvy, so I like build the website. I do the social media. I'm reaching out to blogs, to different blogs, trying to find how to get our music on different platforms and radio stations. So he might be the one that talked to the lawyers about the trademark. And shout out to Lowe. That's our third member, Duck Lowe.
Okay, shout out to Duck Lowe.
So he might do the same thing, talk to people about grants, loans, just different stuff.
Everybody bringing something
try to
the
talk
table.
to different promoters, get shows,
venues.
So it's basically just like a division of responsibility. So we'll have a meeting and say, okay, this is what we need to get done, or this is what's upcoming. And this is what needs to be done to make everything right. So when we get to these dates, so somebody just, volunteered, like, hey, I do this, so that we make sure that's down there. I do this and I do that.
Right.
And when this day come, you need to have your shit together, or we be like, dog, what the fuck? We talking about this.
You can't drop the ball.
So we all had that respect for each other. That we're not gonna disrespect each other when we're telling you should have handled your shit.
Has there ever been a time where you had to let somebody go out the team?
Nah, leave. Yeah, just like he said, like you gotta believe, like not only believe in your team, you gotta believe in the dream, like, the end goal of it. So we got people just leave because they got tired of the grind.
Yeah.
The grind took a toll on them. So
progress is a slow process. Is a slow process. Patience is key. Patience is virtue. Virtue is a virtue. You have to be patient.
Like I said, like I wasn't even around for 2 years, 3 years actually. And he was like carrying a load by himself for a long time.
School.
Yeah, so not even school. I'm talking about when I was in Cali. So I moved back to North Carolina for like a year, and then after that year I moved to Cali for 2 years. So I was like out of the picture for.
Dang, you got out of DC. I was like, I'm everywhere. I'm lit.
Yeah. So
that's what's up.
So I was gone. So he was. That's why like his catalog is just like crazy. He was like, man, I don't really got nobody here. He's like, and at like before I left, like him was like we was the ones like in the studio all the time trying to get stuff popping, and I left. So he was like, fuck it, Fred gone, Ivan gone, I gotta just hold this shit down by myself. So he just kept it going.
Hold that shit down, his fella.
And I had not rapped the entire time I left. And the year before I moved back here, he sent me Martin Luther Dreams, and that was like my first track coming back after years. Like not that I gave up. I mean, thank you, because like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know, like
that beat is fire.
But this dude is just crazy. So I'm sitting there like, man, I ain't rapped in 2 years, and this dude about to get on this joint and go ham.
Right.
I don't even know what I can do.
What's crazy is his catalog beforehand. Like when he left the first time, it was like 07, and we was in school. He went home and recorded a whole album, then sent it to me to engineer. So I'm listening to the beats. I just told him it was on the way here. I listened to the project last night. The beats, the concepts, the substance, who he picked, he handpicked like who he want on this song. Like he has the ear for that. So I didn't have that manager. I'm still trying to teach myself how to rap. I didn't start like getting good at rapping until probably like 2012.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I started rapping like 04, but that was freestyles and all that.
Let me stop you right there because practice is important too. So you just said you didn't start rapping until or getting good at 2012. So how is that process of actually cultivating your style and cultivating how you rap and what you really wanted to say? Because even I tried to rap and I was like, man, I can't say this, and you know what I'm saying, because you wanted to sit good with yourself. You know what I'm saying, and so I couldn't get through that process because it's like I ain't ready.
It's kind of, I say I don't want to say self-discipline. It's something you have to find within yourself that you're comfortable with, but you also have to know, you have to be true to yourself first and then the people around you. I know for a fact I can't come out here talking about pushing weed, trapping, sipping lean, because I don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even talk to people. So I ain't an introvert. So,
right, I ain't even fucking with y'all.
You know what I'm saying? But if you listen to my music over the years, you can hear that's what I really wanted to do. But a lot of times, learning and still being a student in the game, I was trying to make music that everybody say that they wanted. That's what you need to do because that's what people getting on with. So,
and I think that's all. I think that's in the beginning too. Like you're gonna try to appeal to other people, and then I think where people get lost at is that they're stuck trying to appeal to people.
You chasing.
You chasing, and then I think what separates the good from great is that you get in your bag and you're like, this is what I'm gonna say, this is what it's gonna be. And I think that's in anything you do, not just with music. I think if you're a hairstylist, if you're a lawnmower, if you're a auto mechanic, and you start out and you just trying to do what somebody else think is good, and then you transition, it's always gonna be a transition phase to getting better and just actually being and getting in your bag and really cultivating your skills. And I'm glad you said that, because I don't think a lot of people understand that it's a practice that you have to get better. You have to hone in your skills.
I learned how to hone my skills from these guys. Like seriously, like he's one of the best, I say all the time, point of view artists. Like can tell a story about himself.
I got that too. I got that Nas vibe from that. There's a lot of storytelling.
I don't know if you heard the Black Collar. That's with Duck Low. He's more vocab, like extensive vocab.
Right.
So I had to work on that.
Right.
You know, Mill, kind of like substance, like reality rap.
Yeah.
Sir Charles, he's not with us anymore, but on Dangerous Thinkers, like his drive and his delivery, his work ethic, like he's only one of the artists I know can write 100 songs without hearing a beat.
Right. Damn. That's something. That's a talent too. That's a talent too, because you can hear the beat in your head and don't even see it. And this, that's a talent too.
I can't do that.
That's a talent too. Like that's real. That's legit.
To me, I think the hardest part about coming into your own is finding like you said, like who you are as an artist, and then like your style. You don't really want to sound like anybody else, and if you do come out sound like somebody else, your time is going to be short-lived, because you can't keep imitating that person. Nobody want to hear both of y'all sounding the same.
Nobody want to hear both of y'all. Be yourself. Right. It's okay.
So to me, I think that's like the hardest, and then like not being afraid to come out of your style.
Yeah.
That's something I'm trying to do now. Like being able to like, all right, what if I wanted to sound like this? You think people will like it? When I make a song?
I think that's a part of the practice the practice phase, like trying different things, like if you're a beautician, you're gonna try this hairstyle, or you're gonna try this hairstyle, or I'm gonna try this hairstyle, or whatever.
Right.
And it might not work, but it's okay. It's just a bump in the road. You learn from it, and you learn different techniques. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all play with different sounds that y'all be like, damn, is this a guitar in the background? Or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And you're like, damn, well, I could do something with this. Or you get put it on.
I'm always looking for, like, the craziest new sound that nobody has rapped on.
Can people send y'all beats?
Oh, yeah.
Well, y'all send my people some beats. Where do we send the beats to?
Which Metro Cartel bookings.
Metro Cartel bookings. Make sure y'all
bookings.
send them some beats and see what they can do.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for, like, the new wave sound. Like, that's why I keep, every time we, like, listen to beats, I be like, you gotta find that new wave. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it.
What's the jump, man? Cash. We did this song. That had to be, like, 2011 or 10. Probably before that. It's called Cash.
Yeah,
this was the first EDM rap beat I ever rapped off before EDM was popular.
Yeah, that EDM
wave.
Yeah,
that's still my song. Like, I really regret not putting out.
That EDM wave is something different now. That EDM wave is something. But you can kind of get, it's like, I feel like EDM is mixed with, I hate to say it, Do Not Kill Me, mixed with that trap thump, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The bass in it.
That bass in it is mixed with that trap. Yeah. I think that's super, super dope.
Yeah. I love, like, trying to find, like, that next sound, and, like, when you just the beat be like, what the heck is this? And then if it got a good
No, you know when the beat is good when you be like, yo, who made this? Or you be like, damn, where y'all get this from? Or, you know, you gotta see who make the beats and shit. Like, yeah, that's super dope. I got a couple, like, maybe like 3 or 4 more questions, because I can really talk to y'all all day. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of debate about, you said in your music, there's no difference between the drug dealer and the drug user. And I've been seeing the debate, shout out to Charlamagne the guys, when they're talking about which is better, because when we were coming up, they were talking about being a drug dealer and making the money. And now it's the drug users. They're talking about doing the drugs. So how do you feel about that? Because let me tell you how I feel, and then you tell me how you feel. I feel like when it comes to I'm sorry, I'm just me, and if y'all feel it's different, just tell me. But I feel like I would rather be a drug dealer than a drug user. Right. Just because if you look at McDonald's, they're selling food. You look at Marlboro, Newport, they're selling stuff that's gonna kill you, and it's up to the person to take it or not take it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I would rather be I'd rather be the supplier than the user all day, every day. But that's just me, and maybe it's not conducive to what other people think, but that's what I would rather be, the drug dealer than the drug user.
I mean, I agree the same. I agree with that too. I thought you was talking about the line I said on Moment of Silence. I said something like, thanks to Dare. If I was, please be aware, if I was a dealer or addict, nigga, you wouldn't know the difference. And the reason why I said that because you know the DARE program back in the day, the drugs abuse. But the reason why I said that, because if you around, I don't smoke. I mean, cigars, but I never smoked weed day in my life, so I just drink. So like self-medicating, I've been around people I know that can hold their own. Why they're like intoxicated or how they not really wilding out, they're pretty still reserved as if they were sober. Right. And I know some people who act like they have. Don't act like they have, but just had the energy of
I'm high energy. I'm high energy, so I really don't even be needing it. I was like, let's go. Where we going? Adventure time.
I seen both aspects of it, from a person being sober and a person being self-medicated. As far as like with myself, like I'm pretty much the same both ways. Like I'm probably more talkative drinking, but that's like a social thing. So,
right. What do you think about that situation with that?
See, with me, like, which one is better? I mean, I'm kind of like that person, like, it ain't really nobody better than But if I had to be one, I definitely don't want to be an addict. Like, who wants to be
nobody want to be pokey.
Can you get it for me, man? I definitely don't want to be that guy, but It's crazy how it shifted from in the music, because going back to, you know, like 90s rap, and I tell this to my younger cousins now when they listening to their music, I'm like, even though a lot of the music back then was about murder and selling drugs, it was about the struggle of having to sell these drugs, or I'm out here because my block is making so much money that people want to kill our block, so the drug addicts come to their block. It was like, it was more of a message. It was like a message of survival more than a glorification of doing, like, and now they're glorifying using drugs. It's not like, oh, I'm on these drugs because I'm depressed, even though some of them do say it, like, I watch Everyday Struggle, and they be breaking down like little Uzi lyrics, like, oh yeah, he said, you know, I'm sad and I'm da-da-da, and one of his lyrics, maybe he really does need help or whatever.
I think music is therapeutic anyway. Either it's therapeutic for the person listening to it, it's therapeutic for the person writing it, it's therapeutic for the person rapping it, singing it. It's therapeutic anyway, and I think it's more gimmick. I don't want to say it's gimmicky now, because that's what they're on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do, then that's what you do. Because I'm not trying to knock anybody, because how you feed your family is how you feed your family.
It's more either entertainment than actual the art form.
It's commercialized.
Yeah, so a lot of messages is not really getting to the youth, because if all the media and radios are playing, you know, trap music or anything that's detrimental, you know, that's what they're going to be attached to. Like, you get spoon-fed every day, you turn the radio, you hear the same thing over and over in rotation.
And I think that's why Kendrick and J. Cole are so successful, because they were able to cut through all that stuff with a message. So
I think building a fan base is very important for artists. I think your fans are your bread and butter. I think that's how they're able to move how they move and do whatever they want to do, because they have that core fan base that will follow them to the ends of the earth. I know you guys got fans, and I know you got people that's like, damn, big fella, like, you really speaking to my soul. You really listening to what's going on, and you really putting it out there to where I can digest it. How do you think what would be, I don't want to put out your plan to build up a stronger fan base, or what's the grind like to do that, like for your team, for your people that's following you? What do you want them to get out your music? Let's say that.
Okay, one, I don't want us to call people fans. I always say supporters, because I want people to. I appreciate the support, every angle who comes to our shows, stuff like that, reposts, likes. Oh, I appreciate it. I can't stress that enough. What I want people to get from the music is be aware. I don't think our people, as a people, we are aware enough of what's going on around us, as far as either laws, politics. It could be such as the gentrification in your neighborhood or your city. You know, I think we need to be more aware.
Be more aware.
Don't be afraid to step out your element. You know, step out the box. You know, get out your comfort zone a little bit. Try to experience as much as you can. Don't be afraid to share knowledge. I don't want to share knowledge, because I think you're gonna do better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to expose that. Like, people need to know that. Some people don't know. You know, and I tell us all the time, the youth is so stuck a lot of times because they never go outside they block. You know?
And when you said share knowledge, it's so important, because I'm gonna say this: share your music that you listen to. That is so vital in getting to know somebody and just broaden your horizons. Like, I know people, because I do New Music Monday, so I'm constantly looking for like new artists and new songs, new ways to put on the Music Monday playlist. And I have people, and I'll say, let me listen. What you listening to? Like, you heard this song before? You know how we used to do way back in there. Like, nigga, I got this new song. You ain't heard this yet, right? Yo, people do not want to share their music. Share your music. I think we're going to start that next year. Share your music. Share your music. Share who you listening to. Share your knowledge. All when you speak, always have something to share with somebody. I think that's really important. Yeah. Really important.
Starlito is like my favorite underground rapper.
Do you like Don Tripp too?
Yeah, I like Don Tripp. Realist.
He raw.
Yeah, realist. But the reason why I relate more to Starlito, not even off the street stuff, because I grew up around that, but I wasn't in it. But just he's an introvert. and he speaks a lot about anxiety, depression, and he just got his flow is like so slow, but when you listen to his lyrics, he has wordplay, he has storytelling, he has concept, and I think his art form, he don't really compromise it trying to go commercial.
Right.
I remember he was with Cash Money, then he left Cash Money, did his own thing. He was with Young Buck for a minute, did his own thing. And look at him now, like him and Don Tripp had the Step Brothers 3, that was like #1 album a few months ago.
Yeah. I mean, I love them together. I don't know why they're not a group.
Right,
but I love them together. Y'all really need to just combine powers and get it to go, get it going. And you do talk a lot about mental illness and stress, anxiety, depression. I've seen depression up close and personal, and I'm pretty sure you have too, and I'm pretty sure you have too. How do y'all deal with that? Like, do y'all deal with depression? I don't know if that's a little bit too personal, or like, how do you deal with the anxiety of just being yourself in this industry? We'll just say in this industry, because your rap, your style or your genre is not like, I don't want to say like what everybody's like, oh nigga, you're not talking about drugs, you're not talking about you know what I'm saying, you're not talking about that. So I'm pretty sure it has to come with some kind of like, damn, like why these niggas ain't on it yet? You get what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that?
I mean, it's bittersweet. At the same time, it's kind of a headache at times too, because I could go to a neighborhood like Low neighborhood, man. It's so many odd, like they rap. I was like, why don't you have a label? Right. I tell this that every time. It's too many people in your neighborhood that rap, and they all collectively fuck with each other. Not every neighborhood. Excuse me, I don't know if I'm cussing.
Yeah, I've been cussing the whole time.
All right, but like, it's not too many neighborhoods that are that cohesive. You know, it's inside B's. I don't mess with him, and you got cliques. But every time I'm around, they're cool people, like genuinely good dudes.
Yeah.
But as far as like just trying to get people on my music, I don't like to force it. Like I don't even tell people I rap. For that simple reason, because I want it to be quiet as kept. It's a hidden gem. Once you get it, I want people to value it.
Yeah.
And then I want you to value my music. Get something from it. I'm not rapping. Yeah, I don't want people to just think I'm rapping just to get on. I tell people that I don't care about that sign. I don't care if we don't make it, but I know the effort we put in from back then to now, I see the progression. We done went through, get canceled shows, break it down before shows.
I'm telling you, like,
paying to perform.
And
like, shouldn't it be the reverse?
Right.
Yeah,
We've been through that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's so important, because you got to start somewhere. Like, I'm telling you, Team AC, y'all already know what my first interview looked like. Like, it wasn't nothing like this. It's growth, you know what I'm saying? And when you're creating and you're being an entrepreneur and you're building something from the ground up, first thing you have to do is start. Like, no matter, all I knew I wanted to do was interview people. Like, I just want to talk to people and see what they got going on. I'm interested, and I just know I want to do that. So I'm gonna tell y'all. I'll just tell y'all, because y'all might not see it. I had my laptop up with my damn camera on my laptop.
Right.
I had my son running in and out the damn interviews. I mean, it was so ratchet. Like, Team AC, y'all know it was. I mean, it was super ratchet, but I knew what I wanted to do. And then the next interview, somebody called me, was like, "Yo, I see what you're doing. I like your interview. I got some camera equipment if you want to use my camera equipment." I was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna use that." And then so it is. You got to see the growth, and you have to be able to grow.
Yeah.
So being malleable is so important. What was a time where y'all had to just shift the whole paradigm of what y'all had going on, or has that happened yet?
I think that was just recently when we wanted to get more business minded about it. Like you mentioned Nipsey. I remember me and him like talking about which Nipsey CD was that? Was it Crenshaw? When Crenshaw first dropped.
No, it might have been Mailbox Money, because he dropped gems on that joint.
Mailbox Money?
Yeah.
Boy, what did he?
It was one of those, but one of those like, it was Mailbox Money. That's when he was really talking about it. Like, he touched on it in Crenshaw, but Mailbox Money was just direct. He's just all about being an entrepreneur. For real. So like, me and him had a full blown dialogue about it. It's like, man, Nipsey, right, man. But we talked about these things before, but it was like, Nipsey was just like, do it now. You see me.
This is the time. This is the time
like,
now.
If y'all listening to me, y'all need to be doing what I'm doing. So he's like, yeah, we need to get this trademark. We need to get this business this tax ID, all like get all of it in line. So all that
all that.
So like now, like so our shit started when like probably about a year ago.
Yeah. It's when y'all really was like, we're gonna get the business in, situated, and
so that's now we got the website now. We got the merch.
MetroCartel.com.
This is our official trademark. If you ever see this somewhere illegally, they owe us
let
money.
them know.
They owe us bread.
Shout out to Pam.
Yes.
No, she was Pam from Her Inspiration was telling me about a trademark. She was like, I got my trademark. If they touch my trademark, I'm gonna need a check. They gonna have to pay me. So she's the one who really put me onto like trademarks and I've been on it, but she you know when somebody right beside you is like and done it, it's like serious, now it's like okay, I'm about to do it. So that's so cool. Yeah,
so it's definitely just watching what the people who are successful doing and just emulate it as best as possible. Because even like you said, even if we don't like take off to the mainstream success,
so
we still own this stuff. So let's say 10, 15 years from now, some kid get a hold of our music and they're like, man, I like this stuff. Don't nobody really know the Metro Cartel, and they try to take it. No,
it ain't gonna happen.
You signed the Def Jam? Def Jam, y'all better cut that check to Metro Cartel for him taking our stuff. We only got 50,000 listeners.
But y'all gonna make it though. Like y'all gonna make it. One thing I definitely believe is if you put in the work, it's gonna happen. And mainstream success is not really important.
Yeah, it's definitely
like chasing that fame is not important at all. Like it's not important. Like once y'all own y'all stuff, so y'all could start selling y'all stuff off the rip and start getting more money than somebody who's mainstream right now, huh?
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like you can I mean it's so important, and I think entrepreneurism is what we need to be focusing on for real. Yeah. Are there any and I know we talk about Nip, shouts out to Nip, please come sit down with me. We talked about entrepreneurism. Has there been somebody like me? I looked at Pam and my sister, and they're my family. You know what I'm saying? So has there been anybody in y'all family that actually showed you like an OG and was like, look, y'all need to be trying to do this, y'all need to be trying to do that, or was it something that y'all just kept feeding yourself, kept being around, or kept looking towards, you know what I'm saying? Like who was those people?
For me, definitely my god brother, he's like in his mid 40s. So and he from the streets, so he was like one of those late 80s, early 90s hustlers that have the foresight to say, I can't sit out here and sell drugs forever. So he made a chef, bought some apartment buildings.
Okay.
So now he rent out apartments.
Right.
So and he was the first person I ever heard talk about buying stocks, and this was like early 2000s. Like he and I'm like in my like early 20s. He like, yeah, y'all youngers out here buying Nikes. Y'all need to buy stock in Nike.
Right.
And we just listen to him like
conversation.
Like I respect them, but at the same time, it's like stocks. Man, what I'm gonna do with some stocks at 20 years old? What I'm gonna do with some stocks? But now, like I recently just started purchasing stocks.
Like, damn, I bought some stocks when he was telling me.
Like, and then like actually understanding like the research behind it and the numbers. Like, and I looked at Hennessy stock. Man, the price of Hennessy stock a year ago. Man, Hennessy stock was $120. That's $250 right now. I'm like, God dang,
you should have got it.
I was like, Young Mom made that song talking about Hennessy, and everybody went out to boy Hennessy. Now they stock prices.
I know you heard what Cardi B did for Louboutin. It boosted they stock hella high.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm trying to tell you.
So whatever you out here buying, buy stock. If it's just like 2 or 3 stocks in that company, buy it buy them shares because you get a check at the end of the year if that company did well. It might not be a whole lot of money, but they cut you a $10 check. You just got a free $10 just for owning some stocks. So.
Right. So how about you, big fella?
I say my best friend, one of my best friends, Marco. He a few years older than me. He just got into real estate. So he been helping me to like stock. And he been talking about stock, which I was about to say is crazy. He said the same thing. Somebody told him like, you buying Nikes, why not put stock? You know what I'm saying, buy stock in Nike. Yeah. So I sat down with him last week, and he's like a mentor to me, man. Like he went to Smith, he went to our school too.
Yeah.
He went a year before me, and like he just hit me to a lot of stuff as like appreciating what you have in front of you, what to do, what not to do, kind of like how to make business moves, how to move this certain way. Because he's kind of like a reserved person. He's a Gemini, so he's more reserved, but he's on the smooth side. He's not one to kind of like two-face and flip out unless you piss him off. But outside of that, like
everybody can turn up when you get mad at
them.
them.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's so important to have people around you that that you could pull from, you could learn from, y'all can exchange. And if you have kids, make sure that conversation is the conversation is just different when you're around an entrepreneur, because they're always constantly talking about how they can get better, how can they build. And being around somebody who owns their own business, it just gives you some kind of, it gives you life.
Yeah,
you
some
know what I'm saying?
little kick, like, man, like, dang, they doing this, like, and you actually can see it.
Right.
And I was at this Black Entrepreneurs luncheon, probably about, it wasn't a luncheon, it was more of like a social, and they were talking about that. This guy was like, he's like I wish I had like mentors growing up. So I try to do that as much as I can. I try to go and take young guys with me and meet the people who I work with.
Right.
Or like let them see what I do, like when I go to these events and receive these awards. Like they know me as their mentor, but they may not know exactly how I come to my success.
Right.
So he's like, that's really important. You gotta let the younger people actually see the work.
Right.
And then see the reward with the work.
Right.
So
and that's so important.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want teammates see to get out of everything that I do. I want you to see my fuck ups. I want you to see my growth. I want you to see me working hard. I want you to see me running around like, oh, what I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna get this going? And then I get it going. And then you see like, dang, she done went through all this. I know that even no matter what kind of problems I go through, we can still get a finished product. We can still have what we initially started out with.
Right, yeah.
That's so dope. And I'm so glad.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like we all see the success, but nobody ever really tells us like, hey, you gonna have to, it's gonna be some nights you can't sleep.
Yes.
You don't get like those, like people don't tell you that these things come with the success. They like, oh yeah, I'm rich. You see me with the bottles, nigga. You see me in the car.
Right.
But it's like, no, dog. It was like 2 weeks I couldn't go to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning. They had to get back up at 7.
Yeah.
And then start all over again. They don't tell you those type of things.
Right.
So,
and I think that's what we need. Like, that's what we need.
The real behind the scenes.
Right.
Like, hey.
Like them nights where you don't know if you're going to make it. Like, man, I know I done sat up and just been like, man, Lord, all I want is AC Magazine. Like, I know I done cried my sister. Like, all I want is my magazine. I don't want nothing.
Right.
I just want my magazine. And you're going to have those times. You're going to have those times when you not going to know if you coming or going. You're going to have those times when you like, yes, I'm making it. Like, yes. And then the next day, you're going to be like, damn.
What the hell happened?
What the hell happened?
And you hit those runs where you like, dang, I can't lose. I can't lose. And then somehow you like, dang, I was just up here and now I'm down here.
Yeah, you seen that me, an entrepreneur life is like.
Yeah, and that's real. That's real. It's just like perfect example. We got to a point where we was actually like hosting events, showcasing other people's talent, and we was like, oh yeah, we up there now. Like yeah, we doing it. And then the place lose their business. The place that was letting us host our shows, they lose their business. So we out of a showcase now. So we like, dang, we gotta get back to that point where we actually not only putting our sales on, but we was actually putting other people on, getting them in front of crowds and stuff.
And I'm pretty sure that boosted y'all up too, because when you show love, you get love in return.
Definitely.
And never be afraid to help somebody out, even if you're not in a position, even if they're seems like going past you, and you can help them on their way. It still is an investment into yourself. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like when you if that person blow up, they might be like, man, I remember when they used to let me perform at their joint, man.
They gave me $20 for that gas ride at one time.
Yeah, so you never know when somebody gonna come back and get you, man. You never know when somebody gonna come back and get you.
Same people you see going up, same people you see coming down.
And that makes me think of that Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart story. I don't know if you heard it. Tiffany Haddish was in the beginning of her in her comedy career, and Kevin Hart kind of was booming, buzzing a little bit more, and she was like homeless, and she didn't have and she just put out a book, The Last Black Unicorn. Make sure y'all get her book. And he gave her $500, But now, when you look at Kevin Hart and you look at Tiffany Haddish, and he just put her in one of his movies, and you know what I'm saying? So everything comes back full circle. So it's very important that you always remember. It always comes back full circle. You want to fuck with somebody, you want to do them dirty, just always know that it's going to come back full circle. Always put that love and that light out there into the universe, into what you're doing, and it's always going to come back to you.
Yeah,
you know,
and get around people that's creative. I gotta stress that, because if you don't be around somebody that's not creative, you're going to end up. That's gonna rub off on you. That's gonna hinder your creativity.
You're gonna stop at a certain limit because nobody's challenging your creativity. You don't got nothing. There's nobody else with another bar for you to measure your bar to.
Never be the smartest person in your circle.
Yeah.
Like, we just dropping all these games on y'all TVAC. Like, never be the smartest, quietest kept. Like, make sure. And let me ask y'all one more thing, because I think a lot of artists have this problem, and I always tell artists to do this because I'm on Spotify, right? So what was the whole? How did y'all get that Spotify, iTunes? How did y'all get that? How did you get your music on those platforms?
The distribution.
Yeah, how did y'all do that?
Shout out to my man Jerome Anthony. He's from Southeast DC. He moved to Texas. He moved to Dallas. We never got a chance to do a tape. It's crazy because we never got a chance to do a tape. We got a few songs together, but he always hit me. Like, we talk here and there, but when we can, we talk about music, what's out new. I might send them like some new graphic artists that do graphic designs. He might send me something. And he sent me this distribution company. He's like, man, bro, check this out. You know, you pay this amount, get your music on there, unlimited. Right. They put it to all the merchants. Yeah.
So you have to finding a distribution company, and they put your music on those platforms.
Yeah.
Right. We just y'all better listen.
This the catcher though.
Okay.
Some of them have different perks. So, say for instance, you might have like a TuneCore, or you got DistroKid, you have CD Baby. It's a handful of them. Not Music X-Ray. It's a few digital distribution companies.
Okay.
But you just have to look at the perks of what you get out of them. Some
and see
charge
which
more,
one fits best.
Fits for what you're doing.
Okay. So any artists looking at this, I know that's a big deal, especially in North Carolina with the local rap. They don't know how to get their music on, and I tell them, I say, get this stuff on digital platforms.
Invest.
It's an investment, and get your stuff on digital platform. They're like, man, I want to be on your Music Monday. I'm like, you gotta get on Spotify, like you gotta get on this, and I want to tell them like how to do it, but I don't know how to do it myself. So you
off
definitely.
The record, I'm gonna hit you off the record.
Oh well, yeah. I'm not a rapper, but
no, I'm saying for like podcasts and everything.
Yeah.
Use it for that as well.
Yeah, we gonna link up for sure. Yeah, and that's one of the things. Research distribution companies is that's what you need to do if you want to get your music on. But the licensing, you gotta make sure all your stuff is like good and stuff like that. So you gotta make sure your stuff is good and legit and everything. But that's a major key. If you listening to it, if you listen to this interview podcast, make sure that's a key. Like that's it right there. They just gave you the key right there. Like that's a key right there. I think we need to just be over on that one right there because that was good. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to ask me anything or what's up?
Ain't nothing off the top.
What's going on in the world these days?
What's going on?
I guess if you out here, y'all listening to our group, check out our music. Y'all want to link up? Shoot us an email. We definitely want to link up with more artists from across the country. So if y'all want to do something, hit us up. We could do an exchange of songs. You know, we do something for y'all. Y'all do something for us.
We got our own studio, so.
Definitely opening to collab with artists.
And if you're a club owner, promoter, y'all need some acts, check us out. We definitely got music for any event, any kind of event. We could do it. And that's it, man. Stay positive. Build bridges, don't burn them.
That's right.
We cater to a lot of different platforms as well. So you want R&B, you got people that sing. We know people that sing. You want conscious, you want a little bit of trap, a little party, you know.
They got it all.
Yeah.
So I think this is about it. I think we wrapping it up. Make sure y'all tell Team AC, thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, check us out. Instagram, the Metro Cartel, TheMetrocRTL. The Walking Sim Card, Ivan _T. I'm gonna shorten that up one of these days.
I was about to say like __.
It's just gonna be Ivan T in a second. So be on the
You have
lookout
to
for
be verified and all that. We gonna speak all that in 60s. Like they gonna know Metro Cartel. Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
somebody go ahead and make a clone account. It's cool to keep people away from my real accounts.
Lord, he trying to be low key already.
Oh, shout out to Duck Low. That's the third member.
Duck Low.
At Duck Low.
Where you at, Duck Low?
10G. Actually, he had a brunch, Christmas brunch with his family.
Oh yeah, family over everything. You know that's rules we live by. Family over everything.
Definitely ain't gonna stop nobody from going to their kids' plays, man. You wanna miss a show or something, man?
Nah.
She said, nah, you gotta be at the show.
Nah,
man, you go to child graduation. We ain't
it's called
stopping
sacrifices. It's like but
Sacrifices.
But y'all know Amanda Coco, AC Magazine on Facebook, AC.magazine on Instagram, AC Views on Twitter. Y'all know where to find me. I'm so glad. Thank y'all so much for doing this. Oh my gosh. It was fun.
This is like the biggest. I think this will end off our year.
Really?
Yeah. This was nice.
Team AC, we win.
I'ma get it over no matter what the cost. Chasing cash, lost interest. Hustling for the world, moving at Godspeed, paying tickets. Mind on calisthenics. From the city where hustlers apprehended. Seen churches turn into the trenches. Niggas in the kitchen baptizing chickens. Fiends knocking like a witness. Life a movie clip extended. They ain't play no games, no set on benches. Get your hands dirty, blood on your feet, just to walk in the shoes of a Christian. When you're broke, it's hard to pay attention. No hallelujah, just a holocaust. So many Jews on, they chatting Mazatov. In the watch, I guess it's timing off. Don't question the cartel. If you're not involved, you're either in or out. Ain't no right or wrong.
The trenches that I grew up in, all these women raising men. All you ever see is grinding.